Qiao Hao wasn't entirely sure whether she had the DC procedure. On top of that, these operations were usually confidential. Even doctors couldn't divulge their details, and so Qiao Hao contacted a friend who worked at the city hospital for a favor to find a gynecologist. As her friend was at work, they couldn't personally take Qiao Hao, but she had already prepared everything. Qiao Hao followed the address her friend gave her to find the gynecologist. Prior to her arrival, the gynecologist already knew what she wanted done, and so as soon as they saw her, they immediately asked for her name. After Qiao Hao told them, the doctor entered the name and identification number into the search. Nevertheless, in the end, the computer showed no record. "There's no record of it on our system," said the doctor, pointing at the computer monitor. Qiao Hao looked at the words on the computer screen. She lightly creased her brows. So then that express mail, was someone really trying to play a joke on her? As though Qiao Hao wanted to confirm one last time, she asked, "Could there have been some kind of mistake?" The doctor shook his head. "That's not possible. As it's all confidential, we would document each of our procedures, just in case they were required as evidence for future legal purposes. Currently, I am unable to search for details of your operation, which is to say that you definitely did not have a DC at our hospital." Seeing as the doctor was absolutely certain, Qiao Hao's heart suddenly calmed down. She gave her thanks to the doctor, said goodbyes, and left. As Qiao Hao walked out of the gynecology and obstetrics block, she didn't forget to call her friend to give her thanks. Her friend asked what was wrong with her, to which Qiao Hao smiled and said she'd made a mistake. Her friend on the other line chuckled and told her that someone was definitely playing a prank on her with the DC forms. She then laughed at how possibly dizzy she could have been to not even know if she had had a DC. In the face of her friend's teasing, Qiao Hao didn't explain in detail. She continued with a few polite words, and hung up the call. With the knowledge that she didn't have a DC, she felt a little curious as to why anyone would mess with her, but she was also significantly more relaxed. Just as Qiao Hao was about to leave the hospital doors, a question suddenly stopped her. "Excuse me, are you Miss Qiao Hao?" Qiao Hao was unavoidably shocked by getting recognized with her hat and mask on. She stared at the person who stopped her and didn't say a word. The woman who stopped Qiao Hao was around 30, and she wore a nurse's uniform. Seeing that Qiao Hao's eyes were on alert, she added, "I was the one who sent you that express mail. Could I please talk to you for a moment?" Qiao Hao looked over at her, stunned. She pointed at her car, which was parked not too far away, and led her over. The nurse followed right behind her. Qiao Hao took the nurse into her car, started it up, and drove to a rather remote place, through an alley into an enclosed courtyard behind the hospital. She then stopped and turned her head to ask the nurse, "Why did you send me that express mail?" The nurse seemed to struggle to speak. She hesitated for a long while, before she first apologized to Qiao Hao, and then said, "Miss Qiao, I'm truly sorry, but you did indeed have a DC. I was there on duty the night of your operation.